because I'm dumping my money into a crumbling industry. Now, don't get me wrong. Obviously, esports is not doing nearly as bad as NFTs are, but it is certainly struggling. And the most recent news has been devastating. If you haven't heard, the king of esports himself is gone. Of course, I'm talking about Snoop Dogg, who left FaZe Clan, which we will remember for years to come. And then there are also some rumors that are pretty bad if they become true. And now, these have been quieted down by the GM of the TSM League team, but apparently TSM might be leaving the LCS. At least some of their most recent decisions allude to that fact. Whether it's true or not, time will tell. And of course, the very real news, the one that we need to talk about the most today, is CLG, who have been acquired by NRG, and now the CLG brand is gone. And acquired is a bit of a generous verbiage. They've been mostly harvested. The entire staff is let go, except for everything involved for League of Legends. Basically, League of Legends CLG will rebrand to League of Legends NRG. And every other part of CLG is dead as you know it. And here's Andy Miller, the CEO of NRG, talking about that.
Here's what's going to happen. We are acquiring CLG as of this announcement. So we're keeping the league infrastructure intact.
Yes.
The league LCS team, the academy team,
Keep it all
the coaches, the analysts, everybody down to Chef Phil. And we'll be working out of the Culver City facility. There are definitely changes to the CLG org, and we appreciate everyone who, over the years, put their blood, sweat, and tears into this org to get to the point where now they can become a part of Energy.
Okay, to be clear, changes to the other parts of CLG means they're all losing their jobs.
We thank Madison Square Garden Corporation. They will now become a major shareholder in Energy Esports, and we will be, at some point, changing over the brand from...
Okay. So Madison Square Garden is now also an owner of NRG. Now, for a little insider baseball, if you didn't know, CLG was created by Hotshot, who's a former League of Legends pro who wanted to make his own team that became CLG as you know today. And he sold it at some point along the way to Madison Square Garden for buku bucks. And Madison Square Garden, I guess, doesn't want to operate an esports team anymore. They operate the Knicks, of course, Madison Square Garden in New York, and they didn't want to deal with operating CLG. So I guess they just sold it. I guess they probably couldn't find any buyers for the CLG brand outright. So the real value that they held on to is their franchised League of Legends spot, which can be worth tens of millions of dollars. It's kind of like owning a house for esports teams. You can just store all your value into it, and it usually appreciates as long as the game doesn't die. That's how valuable franchise spots are. And I guess that's the plan. So NRG did not buy CLG with cash. They bought it with cash and then gave up ownership of NRG. Makes sense. And the reason I use the term harvested is only because I see things like this. They used the CLG Gaming Twitter, and then they just made it NRG's League of Legends Twitter, which is weird because if you scroll down like a little bit, you can see like, you know, IBDW winning a Smash event, which is, it's just kind of weird to see, but I get it. I understand. They wanted to enter League. There's limited League spots. This is how they had to do it. Sure. And I do have to give a very quick, real and heartfelt shout out to everybody who worked at CLG, because CLG was a very cool org. There were super pioneers. Every esports player that you might know, like, has at some point, I feel like, dipped a hand into CLG. People like Doublelift. They've been huge for Smash. And of course, hearts out to Hotshot, the owner, the original founder, I should say, of CLG, who says still processing, crying a lot, don't know how to react yet, but I want to say something, I'm not quite ready. So we'll wait on that. Shout out Hotshot. And this leads us to the current discussion, which is what the fuck's going on in esports? What the hell's going on? It feels like nobody wants to be in this shit anymore. CLG's gone. TSM's trying to leave, maybe, apparently. That's a rumor. And so I've been seeing this a lot. I've been seeing this. Jake Sucky. There are so many brands I would love to see in League. Moist, Optic, Mr. Beast, NRG, etc. Okay, dude, what the fuck are you talking about, Jake? All right, Moist is two dudes who occasionally talk about drama on YouTube for like pretty good money. We make good money. I am happy with the amount of money I make. Thank you so much. Subscribe if you're watching. But my God, do you know how much a spot actually costs? Now, this is the only deal I could find any specifics on, but Misfits, the content team that signed a lot of Minecrafters, Cutie, my girlfriend, and a lot of other things like that, has a lot of money because they sold their LEC spot, the European equivalent of a League of Legends franchise spot, for reportedly $34 to $36 million. Jake! That's million fucking... I don't have that shit. You think YouTube pays my ass that much? Bro, I'm barely holding 12K viewers while I'm playing Valorant, which is why I spend most of my time watching Valorant. Which actually brings me to the next section of the stream, which is what we are doing in the fall of CLG. Now, a lot of people have lost jobs along the way, and also a lot of players have lost their opportunities along the way. And we had a bunch of opportunity to sign them with not as much money to be able to do all of that signing. But there was one that we wanted to try to help out.
My favorite isn't the people that are like, bro, XQC's doing this, watch now. Like the juicers that go bananas mode and like want everyone on the platform to watch their fucking daddy. But it's the guy that comes in just to say XQC. Like he didn't even say anything else. Like no other words necessary. Just XQC, man. Just XQC. Fuck it. That's all I got. You know what I mean? Thanks, brother.
About that felt like it was a good timing.
Everyone in chat and Discord complains about XQC, then keeps talking about XQC when you're trying to move on. Yeah, I already moved on.
And it is, of course, CLG Red. If you don't know, CLG Red is CLG's women's teams, and they have a specific women's Valorant team. It's been leaked already on Twitter if you haven't seen it. And we're gonna sign him. We're gonna sign him for one tournament. Emily, who's one of the players on the team, reached out to me, said, "Hey, we just wanna like feel good. We don't want to like enter a tournament the same week that we've been let go from CLG." They're literally at CLG scrimming and doing all of their matches together in person. So it's kind of sad, and so we're gonna help out. So we're gonna pay him a salary for this tournament and then try to find them a home. Now, this is obviously super sudden for Moist, but it felt wrong to not do anything. And so we were like, okay, we'll try to pay the salaries for this tournament. We'll try to support you throughout this tournament and then hopefully find you a home longer term. And this is in the to the people at Moist, man, I do keep spending money. But there's so many talented people. It's so hard not to. We got to put a muzzle on me at some point, but man, it's just so hard not to. So anyway, that's all to say that if you guys want to support the new Moist Moguls MXM Women's Valorant team, they have officially made it through the open qualifiers, the closed qualifiers, and they are in the main event of this Women's Valorant tournament. That is April 11th to 14th. So they're going to be playing at some point here. They're currently labeled as CLG Red, but they will be swapped over to MXM, and we'll be able to cheer them on. And if anyone wants a dope Women's Valorant team, then please hit us up. And there's also a lot of other esports players that also need homes. So if you're in esports at all, basically hit my line. All right, let's make some connections, because there's a lot of smashers like IBDW, and you might be thinking to yourself, Ludwig, why don't you just pick all these people up? To which I would say, brother, I have been. I just signed the Valorant team. I just signed, if you haven't heard, last week, Zane, who is the best Smash player in the world by title, literally number one. And let me tell you, number one HG. Zane, he needs Gucci shoes every week, that guy. So we are signing, but there is a limit to how much money we can spend versus how much money we are getting in. It doesn't exactly make sense to use all the money that I have to spend on the other employees who work on Mogul Moves on Moist Moguls. You know what I mean? So anyway, that's all. Just thought I'd shout that out. And final thing before I go here, we did just sign Zane, and he also has this weird problem with YouTube where his old YouTube account isn't monetized. So anyway, look, the details don't matter, but if you guys want to give Zane some love, go check out this video. It'll be in the description. It'll be at the top of the description. Maybe subscribe to Zane's YouTube.
RIP a women's team with the name Moist Moguls. Yeah.